Welcome, I'm Jan Addams, designer, author, and treasure hunter, finding, creating, and showing you insider design tricks on how to renovate or build a new kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. This is the after, this is before, and now you're standing in my after. Now, I use a process called Design Dominoes, the interior process game, because I believe every renovation or new build should actually be fun and not stressful. And every project that I work on, you'll see that I've got these big binders here, but that is me. I'm a very process-driven person, and especially in design, you need to be because there's a million details. This holds all of my details on the project, so I can go back and look for warranties or, gee, what was the name of that contractor that I used? I keep it all nice in a binder. My hubby, when he hears the binder go back and forth, it drives him nuts, but you know where to find things. So the game that I teach for my do-it-yourself type people is Design Dominoes, because every decision that you make is going to affect the next one. So if you purchase that wonderful, we'll call it the leg lamp, okay, or maybe that was given to you and you have to decorate around it, well, guess what? It's going to affect everything else that you are going to select. So I believe that every project starts with art, and art doesn't mean a painting. It doesn't mean that it's a photograph. What it means is something that is very style specific, that is color oriented, that gives you a sense of a theme. In our kitchen, our art happened to be this granite piece. And this granite piece we built our kitchen around, but we had to build it around what I call an existing feature, which was our tile floor. Our tile floor had in-floor heating. We weren't changing that, so we had to find something that was going to tie in all the elements, and we both loved this granite. We're stone people, we love granite. There's our people that love the different soil stone and Caesar stone and all the different composites. That's fine, but just start with something. The next thing you start with is your appliances. That art and style will lead you right to your budget. Your budget is so necessary because one of the biggest components of your budget are appliances and plumbing. You can go from a $500 stove, that's slide in, to a $6,000 stove. That's a Wolf stove. You can see how that affects your budget. You can go from a $200 sink to a $5,000 sink. Same with faucets, fridges, and everything else. I will help walk you through the budget aspect of designing a kitchen. The next thing is the color elements. Believe it or not, your art, which in this case was the granite, your budget, which is your appliances, which is very important because you need those appliances to affect your budget. That also helps with your color. Because we went with red in here, I wanted to go with things that were charcoal, off-white, and stainless steel, so that things would just flow and to the focal point, which was our art piece. So color, I'll help you pick the perfect color. No matter what your style is, it can be done. The next thing is design elements. The design elements are critical in a kitchen. They are what will take a kitchen from ho-hum to wow. To give you an example, I'm not a huge fan of an over-the-range microwave, but as you can see, we have a very small space and no counter. So in that case, we removed the existing hood fan and put in an over-the-range microwave to access. But what I did is I pulled it out and recessed an area in the back. So now it became an art piece instead of just a range or a microwave over the oven with doors above it. Can you see the difference where those design details make all the difference in a kitchen? That's just one example. But here's the thing. So you've got your art that led to your budget, that led to your color direction, and your design elements. But those design elements had to be around existing features. Now, the existing features in this place were all four walls. We kept our plumbing exactly where the plumbing was. We kept our heating and our stove exactly where it was. The only difference is we actually ran a gas line in because it was an electric stove before. There are things that you change. We were going to, my hubby likes more of the open concept. I like this wonderful kind of closed in. I can close the door and keep it quiet. I like that, but he likes the open. We were considering doing it, but unfortunately in that wall, there were so many vents and outlets going in there, it would have been a nightmare, and you really would have had a very small opening in order to make it all work. And the cost just didn't make any sense. So again, whatever you're choosing for your design, make sure it works around your existing features. Those existing features now, with all the other components, will move to your floor plans. The floor plans start with your work triangle. Now, everybody's heard about the work triangle. When I'm talking about aging in place in a resort style way, triangles can change. In this case, we've got our fridge and freezer on the other side, which I'll show you in another shot. We have got our sinks here, we've got our stove here, and our workstation. Now, my hubby is the main cook in the house, so this kitchen was designed around his needs, and what we wanted to do was to be able to work, because I'm kind of a sous chef. So I do all the chop stuff, and he makes and prepares these amazing meals. But we wanted an area where our guests could talk to us. We didn't have that in the other place. So now we actually have that. We've got a great preparation space. So when I'm chopping, I can be cleaning, doing the things I need to be doing. He can be doing the cooking, and we both have access to the fridge as we need to. So I'll show you how and what is actually required in a workable work triangle. Now this moves on to understanding, because a lot of people don't know how to read blueprints. They don't know how to read floor plans. Floor plans are just kind of a bird's eye view of the space. So you will see them and you'll go, I think that line is a cabinet. I think that line is this, but I'll actually walk you through and show you how to read and know whether that's a bearing wall, where there's plumbing, where there's electrical, all of the different components. Now when you see things like a flat drawing, which looks flat, and you go, well, gee, that's what my cabinets are going to look like. Those are called elevations. Elevations are simply what gives you a wall view of what is going to go on that wall. It's not how it's going to be built, but it gives you all the dimensions. I do things in 3D as well, so you can walk through the space and kind of live in it before you actually build it. You know, it's one of those, measure twice, cut once, that kind of idea. All of those things are necessary now to move it into creating this grand theme. The grand theme requires understanding who to hire, how to get the proper quotes, who's the general contractor, the installer. Guess what? They don't all do the same thing. You might have to hire a general contractor that hires the cabinet maker, that hires the people that puts in the plumbing, the electrical, the cabinetry, the crown. That can be a totally separate thing. Understand who are the elements and the people that are necessary to bring your project to life. That's where helpful links come in. That's the one. If you notice, it's the ABCs, but it goes all the way to H. Helpful links to the products and services that are going to bring your project to life. That's what I'm here to help you do. Welcome.